Imagine. Imagine that you're in a wild jungle at dusk, full of vicious night creatures, observing your every move. It's so silent that you can hear your own heart beating out of your chest. You hear the muffled chirps of the insects. Suddenly, a loud noise to your left disturbs the tranquility you felt for that split second. Blood rushes to your head and you grab your weapon. Ready to fight, you look down on your predator and realize that the big monster image that you shaped in your mind was a tiny harmless animal scurrying for food. At that time, chemicals such as adrenaline started to rush. Your breathing and sweat production was also increasing during that moment. You were experiencing stress. Even though that creature was innocent, you still got ready to take it on. This is a helpful survival tactic that we adapted to, so that we are always ready to defend ourselves no matter how big or small the combat is. Although that this is very unlikely for our age to be wandering in a jungle at that time of day, we still stress for our survival. For instance, we attend school so that we obtain a successful future to sustain ourselves as individual human beings. Sometimes we get stressed, and that's okay because it's our natural way of overcoming obstacles. On the other hand, too much stress and irrational worrying may be symptoms of a mental health issue called anxiety. Globally, anxiety affects 1 in 13 individuals, yet people do not treat this disorder like a severe impairment that can have a co-occurring physical illness. These disorders can be highly treatable, but only a minute amounts receive treatment. This is because many people have a blurred mindset on this mental illness and do not see it as big of a deal like a fast-spreading fever that people get treated right away. Just like a fast-spreading fever, anxiety can lead to higher risks of other mental disorders like depression. People who have a cloudy perspective on this disorder will be more likely to stigmatize anxiety mental health issues. For instance, if a male had a fear of a certain object and he was stigmatized for his mental issue and bullied for his masculinity, how would you react if a female had a similar phobia? Of course, she would still be mocked, but society sees males as fearless figures that don't get scared of simple objects. Gender stereotypes play a big role for stigmatization. One who defines an individual by their mental illness is one who stigmatizes them. Avoid calling them the person who has PTSD and start using the correct pronoun they use. Their mental illness is part of who they are, and it does not characterize their whole being. To obtain a new viewpoint for anxiety, one must understand and put into their mindset that anxiety disorders can be quite serious. Many see that you're weak and wimpy, but that is not the case. A combo of biological, psychological, and other factors may contribute to this disorder. However, alcohol, caffeine, and some medications can cause symptoms of anxiety. It is not the person's fault that he or she is afraid of simple things that we might not even think of. I have talked about how people can help people who have this mental illness. So how do people with anxiety help themselves? One major issue is that you don't really know you have anxiety until someone talks to you about it. Make sure you're self-aware and know the symptoms because it's very important that you get it checked right away because anxiety is highly treatable with therapy and medication. Ask yourself questions like, what's bothering me? What's distracting me from my happiness? These questions can help you because they are personal and you will answer them truthfully. If you do not know what's bothering you, write down and channel your emotions when you're stressed. This can help you flush them out and might even figure out what's bothering you. It's all about self-care and love. Love actually releases hormones that are good for you and might even block anxiety. Just remember, anxiety is a monster that can devour you, and people who stigmatize you are his minions. Do not let them defeat you with the amount of weapons you have.